I bet you didn't expect to see the Infogram Armadillo on the PC Engine. It's actually kind of weird that it's there at all, since Infogram didn't have anything to do with Skweek. Skweek was originally a computer game developed and published by French game company Logiciel. They were one of the biggest game companies in France in the 80s, but didn't really seem to make much of a splash beyond their own border. A few of their games were released outside of France, with the most well-known probably being the Jim Power series. And if I have to reach for Jim Power as the most well-known, then you gotta know that they struggled internationally. Logiciel is one of those game companies that didn't survive the transition away from the microcomputer era. But in the early 90s, as things were starting to turn, several of their games were ported to the PC Engine, and they came from multiple publishers. I think it's likely that Infogram is on the box for Skweek because they helped broker the connection with Victor Interactive. Sometimes international licensing deals just get weird. The plot of the game is that Squeezeland was a peaceful place until an evil country invaded and poisoned the country with a blue gas called Squeeze Killer. The people of Squeezeland were forced into a diaspora, roaming the world for centuries, unable to find a new place to call home. One day, word reached them that the evil country was weakening, and so a lone hero named Skweek was sent in to clean up the Squeeze Killer and prepare Squeezeland for their return. I swear all of that is straight from the manual. Skweek is a maze chase game. Your goal on each of its 99 levels are to run over all of the blue panels, and occasionally some silver ones, and turn them pink. Once every possible square on the stage is pink, you get points for your remaining time, a password for the next level, and then you go on. Everything's laid out in tiles, but you're not restricted to tile movement. In other words, tapping in a direction will take you one step rather than one tile. To change a tile's color, or trigger any effects that it might have, you only need to set a foot on it. Naturally, there are enemies who will chase you down, and they'll spawn out of the translucent squares with a circle in them. Those squares might be my least favorite thing about Skweek. They're surfaces that you can walk on, and you are required to walk on them for many stages. But sometimes a little mouth will pop out of them, and that mouth kills you instantly. The mouth can sometimes spawn a new enemy, or sometimes it just pops out. And there is no pattern to when the mouth appears. I thought, okay, I'll wait until one appears and go after it. But sometimes it would just do 2 in a row. And so I thought, okay, those times there were no monsters, so maybe there's a delay after a monster appears. That made no difference. I thought I would wait out the double attack, and there'd be very long delays as I stood next to those tiles waiting for something to happen. I'd see that pop out twice, and then it would pop out a third time. It's not a situation where it's activated by Skweek running on top of them. Sometimes you just run past and nothing happens. They're just completely inconsistent, have the potential to randomly kill you, and you still have to walk through them to complete levels. When it comes to monsters, you can defend yourself by pressing button 2, and that will fire a shot that will rebound off solid objects. You can only have one shot out at a time, and it is very possible for your shot to get stuck, bouncing back and forth, and leaving you unable to defend yourself or unable to clear a path that you have to go down. Besides the monster spawners and the empty spots for you to cross, there's several other types of tiles. The ones that are just blank white are ice, and you'll slide across them when you step onto them. That can cause you to fall off the level unless there's a block there, or if it's at the edge of the screen. I know it looks like you should just fall off, but you just don't. Tiles with arrows on them will push you in that direction, and the ones with the dot in the middle will break after you walk on them. You still have to step on them though, because they change as they break. The shortcut tile will teleport you between all of the tiles that say shortcut on the stage, rotating through them in turn if there's more than 2. And the boom tiles are complicated. They could destroy all enemies on the screen, or they could blow up walls, turning them into normal tiles to be stepped on, or they could blow up all of the tiles in the area around you. You don't know what's going to happen until you step on it. And in the last case, unless you're already moving, then you're going to get killed by it. Sometimes power-ups will just appear on the stage. The indicator on the right-hand side that says bonus will show you what's appeared and if it's above or below Skweek. Some things improve your weapon, giving you additional shots or making it a freeze gun that will stop enemies in their tracks until you kick them out of the way. Some things are just bonus points. Then there's the present, which has a random effect. It could reverse your controls, it could cause you to revert pink tiles back to blue, or it could kill all the enemies on the stage. A turbo boost will make Skweek run faster. This is a bad thing to use because you will run right off the platforms. And a shield will make you invincible for a short while. The most valuable items are the teddy bears. They come in 4 different colors, and if you manage to collect one of each color, then you automatically get 3 extra lives and advance to the next stage. But if you collect a teddy bear of a color that you already have, then you lose that teddy bear. Okay, the teddy bears don't actually matter a whole lot since you have infinite continues, but they have a portion of the interface dedicated specifically to them. As for the enemies, most of them are straightforward guys who wander around and will eventually bump into you. There are some that will destroy walls, leaving behind a tile that you have to step on. On some stages, using them to clear out those walls is a necessity. The only really dangerous enemies are the flames that are indestructible, so if one spawns in a narrow path that you have to go down, there's nothing you can do. And the octopodes that fire bullets in diagonal directions, which will rebound just like your shots. Generally speaking, the stage hazards wind up being a lot worse than the actual monsters. Skweek got a sequel, Super Skweek, but it was never released on the PC Engine, so we're not going to see it in this project. Skweek seems to be fairly obscure in Japan, and I mean really obscure. That doesn't mean it's rare or expensive. You can get a copy for less than 2,000 yen pretty easily. It's just hardly anybody had anything to say about it. The common thread for the 2 people I found was that they thought it was disappointing. And I can definitely feel that. Skweek is one of those games that's just kinda mediocre. Not bad enough to be a real stinker, but it's got a lot of little flaws that make it feel like sandpaper when you play. I was actually a little bit more up on it until I started writing out my script, because it kept reminding me of how I was getting annoyed playing it. I saw promise in the concept when I started playing Skweek, but the more you play it, the more you find out that it doesn't live up to that promise.